In this video, I'm going to talk about things people think are minimalist, but actually they're not. I've been hearing people throw the word minimalism around randomly, and yeah, maybe at the end of the day, not everyone is obsessed with the terms and the words they use, but since I'm going to explain this especially for my followers and subscribers who I know are actually interested in design and intention. So, let's get into it. First thing first, let's talk about an empty room. When you have an empty room, like there is just one bed in it or almost nothing, this is not automatically minimalism. And you are not a minimalist just because your room is empty. Minimalism means intentional. You choose things based on style, color, material, and function. And usually it's like before starting to design, you say, okay, I want this room to be minimal, not just because you don't have anything else to put there. You don't have the budget, you have no idea what to do, and you just throw a bed there and call it minimalism. It doesn't work like that. Even if a bedroom only has a bed, the bedding, the cover, the color of the bed, the flooring, material, the lighting, all of that defines whether it's minimalism or just emptiness. Minimalism is intentional design, not absence. Another thing that I want to talk about, houses that are just one color. Mostly gray, white, beige, sometimes even sharp colors, and people say, oh, it's minimalism. No, minimalist interior design still needs accent. It's not about all colors being the same. You still need contrast and depth. Just because everything is gray or white doesn't suddenly make it minimalism. Again, it's about intention. If someone is really trying to design minimalist, they would research it, understand balance, understand depth. I mean, one color everywhere is not automatically minimalism. Another thing is hidden chaos. We know minimalism is about clutter-free spaces. Clean lines, no knickknacks, but there are houses where you see the kitchen and think, wow, such a minimalist kitchen. But then you open the back storage. It's crazy. Or the bedroom and living room look minimalist, but you open the closet and it's a jungle. I'm not saying that if you like minimalist space, you have to be mentally minimalist in your life. No, but if you're still holding onto clothes, knickknacks, things you don't use, they still hold power over your space. Your home decoration is for you, not other people. You know what's there, so hiding clutter doesn't make it minimalism. I don't know if this point makes sense to you guys though, but let's move on. No artwork on the walls. People think minimalism means no art, no decoration. That's not true. One of the most important decisions in minimalist interior design is artwork. It can act as an accent piece, an accent color, a focal point. Sometimes you're doing everything right in a minimalist space, but something feels missing. I'm telling you, often it's the art. Minimalism removes noise, not meaning. Moving on, let's talk about bare surfaces everywhere. Minimalism doesn't mean we don't put any decorative items at all. Sometimes one vase on a table actually makes the space more minimalist because it's intentional. A console with one artwork leaned on it can define the space. There are certain surface choices that we have to make to achieve minimalism. Empty doesn't automatically mean good design. Beautiful, but not functional spaces. I've seen this trend on Twitter, people sharing these super white, super aesthetic, very minimalist looking homes. And someone commented, okay, but what are you supposed to do in this room? And other people replied like, let's eat berries, grapes, any red fruit, or pizza with lots of ketchup. I mean, they have a point. You're scared to exist in such a space. That's not minimalism, that's a showroom. Minimalism must be functional. You should be able to live, move, relax in your home. If design prevents life, it failed. The real challenge is that these spaces should be minimal and functional at the same time. Moving on, let's talk about people using minimalism to avoid decisions. They say they are minimalist, but really they just stop designing. It's like, let's have a sofa, a TV, maybe a coffee table, and call it a day. Call it a minimalism. I mean, it's not. That's bare minimum. Minimalism still requires design knowledge, editing, intention, and choices. It's not laziness, and it's not I don't want to think about it. That's the difference between someone who understands this style and someone who doesn't. Another thing people confuse with minimalism is form. Form is extremely important in minimalist design, but lately I have seen people associate minimalism with wavy mirrors, heavily curved sofas, and rounded shapes everywhere. That's not minimalism. Those forms belong more to trend-driven styles. Some of them sit better in interior designs like, let's say, Japandi or soft contemporary spaces. But minimalism is not about expressive silhouettes. It's about controlled, quiet forms that don't dominate the space. When every piece has a sculptural or exaggerated shape, the attention goes to the object itself. The room becomes a collection of forms instead of balanced compositions. That shifts the focus from spatial clarity to visual styling. If the identity of the room depends on trendy curves and statement silhouettes, that's an aesthetic direction, not minimalist design. Now, let's talk about tech clutter. I always say you can hide cables, use docks, manage tech visually, but you can't remove decor and keep cords, routers, remotes, devices everywhere and call it minimalist. Tech is visual notes. Maybe one small device placed quietly is fine, but a room that is basically a sofa, a TV, and a bunch of tech equipment in front of it, that's not minimalism. Cords, routers, boxes everywhere? Definitely not. So, based on everything I talked about, I honestly don't see true minimalism that often. I don't know about you. Tell me what you agree, what you don't. Let's keep the conversation going and hope to see you in the next video.